Mullen. Don't mind those inclusions. All I would say on Mullen is A, the Cats have the bye, and B, I think we're expecting a lot to return, and Mullen could go by the wayside. So that's something to think about. YouTube, what is going on? Bear with me. I will just finish up my TikTok duties in a second. Sammy Boy's in. John's in the house straight up. So I won't be long. Just a couple more TikTok questions. Sam says Sheasel. I think I answered that one. Oliver. Jay, would you trade Day out? I probably would, mate. It's not desperate to trade him out, but if you can, probably would because he's just sort of tailed off a little bit with that top end. Miami Heat says get Lukosius in for the third well in a row. Third well in a row. I don't know. I know he's been in good form, and I've got a feeling Miami Heat was pumping Lukosius up last week as well. Dougal says, is Zeeble getting the boot? I feel like he is, mate. Popular question. So, yeah, I feel like he might be out. Bit concerned about the influence Aaron Hall might be having on Tommy Faulkner. Any good mids or cheap mids? Probably Sam Walsh I still have a bit of belief in. He's somewhat cheap. But, yeah, I might have to sift through a few for you. Can we trust those Carlton guys to bounce back like Cripps and Walsh? Underpriced for their best, but don't know. And there you go. Bloke says thoughts on Cripps. I think he's one good week away from us trusting him again. Just want to see it. Previously, when he's played like this, we find out eventually he's like carrying a niggle. So I'm a bit worried about that. A just says, hey, Shorty in the Caps, what's going on, mate? Nice to see you. And we might wrap it up after Marshall. North boys, hold or trade. Popular one, this. I would trade, mate. I'm probably trading them both. Obviously referring to Sheasel and Zeeble. I just think Sheasel's made his dosh. Thanks very much. And Zeeble's just struggling. We were patient for a couple of weeks, then he got worse last week. Maybe he is just slowing up. Riley says thoughts on Cripps. So there you go, another Cripps comment. So I think Cripps probably wait and see if he does bounce back. If he does bounce back, then I'll be super quick to get on him. But until he does, I just want to see it before I commit to it. So, yeah, good stuff, guys. Look, I think if I haven't got to you, my apologies. I do have a few questions floating around there, so I do apologize. But yeah, I'm live right now on YouTube as well. If you're not familiar with the shorty concept, we do go live on TikTok from about 7 till 7:30. Then we roll over to the YouTube fam for about an hour and a half. So if you want to join, the questions are already flowing through. So yeah, if you'd like to jump on, feel free to. But I'm going to take this party over to YouTube. Thanks everyone who's joined in. I'll be back with my trades on TikTok on Thursday night. Cheers, guys. YouTube, what is up? Just give me one moment to release the phone from the old tripod. Get me life sorted a little bit. Plenty of questions regarding Zeeble and even Benny Keys. So I'll be interested to see what the sort of flavour is from you guys. So let's roll up to the top. There's Sammy Boys. Shorty, I'm here. What's going on, mate? Good to see you. John says, any good options for someone priced between 450, 550? Look, there isn't stacks. I mean, Darcy Cameron is in a good range. Do you trust Paddy Cripps? He's 480. Do you trust Sammy Walsh? He's 550. So there are options, but obviously when we start to look for a bit of a bargain option, it comes with a bit of risk, John, because they're in that price bracket for a reason. They've been out of form, so we're normally looking for a return to form. So that's all I'd say. Just be mindful. Now I forget every time, so I'm going to do it just as I'm realizing. Just putting this over to Facebook and Twitter. Yeah. Also, wouldn't mind if you. Let me know if you're watching the cricket too. I'm gonna. If you're not a cricket fan, test World Test Championships, I think it's called, but, playing India, so look out for that. Give me one moment, guys, and I shall upload this to Facebook, AFL 360, Supercoach 360, kind enough to let me post a few things on their page. Give them a follow if you're into that. Chuck that one up there. Yeah, I'm a bit stumped on my trades, to be honest. I think Zeeble and Sheasel are a trade out, but I don't know. I want to pull the trigger on Oliver, Darcy Cameron. Do I go Ben Keys? I'm just a bit torn. It's like, do I go cash gen? Do I just start banking premiums? I don't know. I'm a bit. When you sometimes make trades and you're like, yep, I'm sold on that. That's what I'm doing. You just do them. You don't even second guess it. Where sometimes you're like, fuck, is this gonna like bite me on the ass later? Why won't this motherfucker shorten my URL? Fuck me. Give me a little tiny URL, little Twitter URL. It's more complicated than it needs to be, guys. I don't want to fucking subscribe. Oh, how hard is it to just get a fucking little URL? I'm telling you, technology not Shorty's strong suit, man. Yeah, get started for free. Well, that's never the case, is it? Never the case. Shorty signed up for way too many things that tell me it's going to be free. Before you know it, they're asking for your credit card details. Dangerous stuff. There we go. There's one. Finally, that worked. All right. That there. Little cheeky thumbnail. We are live if you've got any questions. Cool. Lock that away, rock and roll. Nice. So sorry about that slight delay. Sammy Boys, John, DCAM, John, Sammy Boys answering questions, bro. Boom. Tom Green is also up there, 538, 558. Yeah, true. I always forget to mention Tom Green because I just sometimes think like he's like in everyone's team, but he's not. But yeah, Tom Green, very good options. And I always get very excited about this man's comments. He pumps me up. It's Daniel Yench. Shorty, my friend, you are looking divine tonight as usual. The man that never disappoints, both with the content and in the looks department. That's why I get excited about this man. If ever I'm having a flat day, mate, Yenchi has got me covered. In relation to the old Matthew Yench, do you remember that bastard who used to run around for the Adelaide Crows? Random ass players of a former generation. But good to see you, mate. Thanks for jumping on board, Scott. How are the bags going, mate? Jesus Christ. Not sure what he quite means there. Are we talking the Carlton baggers? Are we talking about my Woolies bags? I'm not really sure, brother, but I might skip past that one. Sammy Boy Sinclair for 531. Very good point. I sort of have a tendency to not think about guys who are already in my team because I forget what price they are. They're in my team, doesn't matter. But yeah, Sinclair at that price, real good. Theo says, hey, Shorty, how are you? Thinking Briggs R2, use Marshall cash to upgrade Baker and Mitchell to Neil and Sinclair, get rid of Zeeland for Darcy Cameron. Oh, boy. I don't really like trading out Marshall. I mean, I understand we have the coverage for Briggs, but, he's not going to keep this form up. And Marshall's a bloke who's having 110. So, I mean, that's pretty damn impressive. Now, I do like the Darcy Cameron option because I think I'm just looking at my team now. I sort of feel like I could get rid of Sheasel, Zeeble. I'm just thinking because I do like Darcy Cameron as an option, but Ben Keys I'm starting to warm to as well. Maybe if Seamus Mitchell isn't named, which he should, and even if he is, I mean, I still could trade him. How much is Keys? 350 or something? 370. Yeah. No, don't know. Anyway, I don't really like trading out Marshall, but I do like your other options there. Sammy boy, shorty mate, here the Clary news. I heard he had like a blister or some shit, some infection. He's in hospital on an IV drip and stuff, and now in doubt for Monday. Well, there you go. Yeah, very random, wasn't it? I heard something about that on the radio, mate. So thanks for letting me know. That definitely makes the options a little clearer. I might bring in Lockie Neal or something. Yeah, thank you, mate. Johnny DeFran. Johnny DeFran. Hey, Shorty, who should I get instead of DeGoey? I've got 200K in the bank. Well, mate, you've got options, my friend. You've got options. I really like Lockie Neal for the price he's at, and he's had his buy. Andy Brayshaw had his buy. But then, take your pick. I mean, if you need a Bontempelli, go for it. If you need a Rory Laird, go for it. Like, ideally, you get rid of players who are going to have their buy and bring in guys who have had their buy. Then you can sort of dodge that a little bit. But hopefully a few of those names take your fancy. Angeline says, hey, Shorty, thanks for the content and the stories. Ange, anytime, mate. Appreciate the feedback. That's what we like rolling out here. Shorty's got the stories and the content. I tell you, I've got a little story for you. I'll tell on the preview. It's not much, but just you get some weird things that happen on Facebook Marketplace, and I've been selling a few games and just some strange interactions. I remember that a few weeks back, I'm selling something for I reckon I was selling it for 80, 90. It was 90, right? So bloke rocks up. He's got a 50. He's got a 20. But I walk out. He's at my door. I'm like, hey, mate, I'll just open the garage. It's easier. So and you normally sort of thinking, just give me some cash. But I see him and he's sort of holding his hands like this. I'm thinking, what the fuck's going on here? This bloke's cupping his notes. Bang, gives me a 50, gives me a 10, gives me a 10, and then pours in gold coins. Fucking hell. Mate, I'll fucking show you. I've still got them. I can't do anything with them, mate. Why'd you give me gold coins? Just strange activity, mate. Strange activity, the stuff you get on the old Facebook Marketplace. Oh, half of these this probably ain't too good for the ears, is it? But can't be fucked getting them all. But look, listen to this shit. Shorty's aggressive ASMR. Got the 50s though from the lad. The other bloke gave me some 50s for the game. But I'll continue that story maybe another time. But someone's in my room. Hey, Caitlin. Just showing the guys my money. Get out. Nah, how you going?
I'm really good. How are you?
You want to talk to the guys?
Hey guys, how are you?
They said they're good.
I'm really happy about that.
Yeah. Are you going to do the quiz?
Yep, 8:45 is it?
Yeah, normally. Just next time when you do it, could you make sure you wear pants, please?
No. I never wear pants anymore.
Okay, thanks so much. Did you hear
I heard it.
Did you hear the coins? I'm like shaking it like a psycho.
I heard that wardrobe and then the coins. I was like, what is going on in there?
Yeah, don't ask any more questions.
Oh,
all right, I'll see you later. Crazy. Baggers. Oh, here we go. It starts now. Shorty, see the Oliver oil is on the oil drip. Slippery customer, mate. Yeah, mate. What's going on there, bro? That's no good and could affect Shorty's trades. Matt says, g'day, Shorty. Looking to finish my defense this week. Looking to bring in either Sinclair or Houston. Which would you choose? Don't really care about Houston's buy. Look, I'd definitely go Sinclair. Good pod for any owner of Houston, but I just, for two reasons. I mean, you've already outlined the buy, but I just think Sinclair's got that ability to average 110. I don't think Houston does. I just trust Sinclair more. And the Aussies are underway. India chose to bowl. So there you go. Warner. Can't stand Warner. Wouldn't mind him going out. But he's two. Khawaja yet to get off the mark after 9 deliveries, but I might keep myself posted on that. Sammy boy, Shorty looking good today. By the way, you had a shave. I'm really noticing those. A little bit of a shave, mate. A little bit of regrowth, but Shorty doesn't let it get too long. Not really a big embracer of the beard, mate. Just not me look, but got back in the working week, mate. So we just tried to sharpen things up. John, what do you think of these trades? Keys, Neil, and Cameron in for DeGoey, Zeeble, and Atkins. I really like those. Are there any better mid prices instead of Decam and Keys? No, I wouldn't. Oh, I mean, no, I don't think there is. So Yo is being talked about. Fife is being talked about. But of those four, I do prefer Cameron and Keys. I like Cameron the most out of them all. Corey's in the house. What's going on, mate? Maybe looking at Weddle and Mitchell to Brayshaw and Mullen. Also was $400 away from Sarong and Mullen. Oh, that hurts, mate. I mean, two things out of that. Mitchell could return. Still got money to make. But that's not a big issue. Like, you can definitely still trade him if it makes sense. Mullen, I mean, Cats have the bye this week. I highly doubt he's in the team next week. Geelong have players coming back. I'd be very surprised, but that's all I can sort of say there. But we won't know for a couple of weeks. Joshy Martin, hey Shorty, what are your thoughts on Darcy Cameron? Big fan. We've seen the workload slightly increase and just him find his touch back again. And I think he looked the best he looked in his return on the weekend and did ton up. So I think he's a really nice option. Could save us with that forward ruck eligibility later in the year. You never quite know when that could be crucial. So I think I'll bring him in. Matty Parker, thoughts on Day, Sheasel, and Cogs for Sinclair, Neal, and Fife, or Himmelberg? Himmelberg's another. I might just write that down so I don't forget for the preview. So what I like about these live guys, you guys set the tone, mate. Half the time I don't know what I'm thinking about. And I talk to you guys, and you let me know what the flavour of the week is in Supercoach. So we got Fife, Cameron, and Keys was another one in that mid-price range. Look, the thing with these, right, is Himmelberg back for a week, as in back defensively, or is it a permanent move? I mean, I don't know. If it's permanent, I like that. Fife, I'm not interested in. So top score of about 60 this year, 320s. I understand sub-affected. I understand they're easing him back into it, but I don't know. There's no reason that he doesn't just score another 50 or 70. So until we see it, I'd happily miss out. Say he comes out and scores 91 this week. I'm happy to miss out on 30K to see that he is back, because I don't know if he is. So happy to wait on that. But I definitely like Sinclair, definitely like Neil. Shelley Bean, hey Shorty, what are your thoughts on Ben Keys as M8? Nah, not M8 for mine, mate. Maybe F6 could be your go. I just think definitely capable of getting a guy like Sam Walsh or Paddy Cripps or even like a Lockie Neal at your M8. Like, I feel like that's possible. Like Tommy Green, I don't think we're short on options around 500, 550. But Keys, definitely more of a F6 potential. Certainly a guy that can make us some money. If there's any Adelaide fans out there, please let me know. Why has he returned to this role? Is it just something that they've changed up? Do you think it's going to be permanent? I'd love to know. Western Port Central. Well, this could be what I'm after. Keys had 25 disposals, 6 clearances, 10 tackles, and 2 goals, but a 36 efficiency. They may well drop him from the midfield with that efficiency. That is the insights I like to see, mate. So watch this space, because he has been a guy that's been dropped out of that midfield from time to time to play that half forward, defensive forward, just different type of a role. So, yeah, it's risky, isn't it? It's a risky one. Scotty Walker says Australia batting. Nice, mate. If you want to, I've got the scores up here too, but I'll definitely be keen to get your goal. Fuck, we lost a wicket already. And of course, it's fucking Labuschagne. Sorry, Kawaja. Whenever I look and we're 1 for, can't it just be Warner? I hate watching him. I can't stand him. Josh, talking about his brother Nick, Nick Martin and Bailey Dale. I'm also pumped for the return of Thursday night footy. Yes. Why is it so crucial to? I don't know why they got rid of it. It did not make any sense. The week just feels so much shorter, mate. It's beautiful. Not really interested in Nick Martin. I haven't even really looked into him, to be honest. So maybe I'm just like speaking without even looking. But I mean, he's a mid forward. I guess he's playing on that wing, isn't he? He's had 2 good weeks, 4 solid weeks. No, look, he's not for me, mate. Bailey Dale, bit more confidence in. He's obviously a guy that we know can be a premium. He's had his tough times this year, but I would trust Dale a fair bit more. Sammy boy, trades this week from me are okay. A bit troubled though. Got rid of Zeeble, Oscar Baker, and Rat to Dawson and Stewart. Nothing wrong so far. And I get enough coverage and then Madden to cash for Adeglia. Yeah, fair enough. So a bit of that dual position floating forward ruck donut sort of thing. Yeah, don't mind that, mate. Dawson and Stewart are must-haves in the back line, so I'm glad you've latched onto them. Here's a couple from Baggers. You never quite know where this is going to take us. Also, was at the North game as my Dons sent me into a rage, but Zeeble, only guy to wear black shorts and socks in warm-up. He defo injured. Watch him be laid out for the submarine. Mate, that's some insights. Submarine sinking turd that owes me sunnies from when he came to me school as a junior. Said if market one hand, he'd give me the Oakleys, but he left when I did. Dog act, dog player, submarine dog. This is why we bring this man to the comment section, because he produces that sort of content now. Zeeble has done him wrong in life and in SuperCoach, which is just savage, mate. So, look, no idea if he's injured. Interesting insights. What I do know is he's definitely out of form and something's awry. So, yeah, I think he's going to be absolutely – it's at that stage where with a break even like that, you either commit to him and back him in, think about it hard, back him in for the rest of it, or you trade him now while he's still got currency. It's not one where you go, oh, I'll give him one more week, scores 80, drops another fucking 60K, 40K. And you go, oh, bugger. Like, you got to make the call now before he starts leaking cash. Damien, Shorty the man, we all love. Am I a peanut for trading Harry Sheezel for Lloyd? Also, Rory Atkins in for Fife. Feels like a 2020 trade. Look, I'm saying no on Fife. You might have caught my words before. I'd just like to see it before I act on it. Hasn't really, he's shown glimpses. And look, Lloyd, I must admit, he has turned it round. So he did that 139. I still have doubts over his ceiling. So you'll see he had a 120 or 119 in rounds 4 and 5. I still, by the end of the year, I'd say he's probably averaging 94, 95, 96. He's a solid option. I'm not going to argue with you too much there. But definitely not crazy for Sheezel to Lloyd. I prefer you didn't go Atkins to Fife. Maybe some of those other options. I know they're more expensive, but like a Keys, Darcy Cameron is more expensive again. But thanks for the question, though, mate. Woha, don't know how to say that one. Someone's testing me. Who do I trade out between Cunnington, LDU, and Weezers? Well, there are a couple of North Melbourne names. I did not anticipate. Is LDU even been playing? I don't think so. So you probably get rid of him. And I mean, those couple of those blokes haven't even been playing. So I'd get rid of the guys that, definitely aren't even in the team. Bag is hand, not head. Okay, that must have been one-handed. I can't remember. Ricky, what to do with Jay-Z, Sheezel, and Day if low on trades? 12 trades left with 3 upgrades. Yeah, look, I think if you're low on trades, you sort of got to back some guys at some stage. I don't think 12 trades with 3 upgrades is a disaster, so I'd be happy for you to trade out any of those guys. I'd probably preference Zeeble because he's going to leak some serious coin. I haven't really checked Will Day in terms of break evens for a while. I feel like he's been scoring 80s for like weeks. 74, 74, 81, 88, 84, yeah, break even of 102. So I'd base it on the break evens. Zeebel's the one that's going to be sinking. You could probably trade them all out by year's end, but yeah, Zeeble definitely the most pressing. BB says thoughts on Lewis Mexican in getting him and Lloyd in for Zeeble and Sheezel. I like how he corrected to Malik, and I thought he genuinely meant Mexican. Neil, Petrarca, or Sarong? Definitely Petrarca for mine. Neil versus Sarong. Oh, jeez, I'm almost going Sarong, which sounds crazy, but I just can't ignore the year he's having. And Neil is just a touch off his best. Still great, still very good. Like, I think I'll trade him in. How much is Sarong? He's probably 580. Oh, fuck, 610. So Neil definitely a bit cheaper, but yeah, Lloyd, again, I'm not going to argue with it. Just he's a bit like Ridley for mine. I just don't love it. Like, they're solid. Just don't know if I love it. Okay, Malikan scored 87, 172K defender. I'd probably wait, mate. Like, I'd hold on it. Just see what he does this week. But could definitely be an option if he produces again. I mean, it's always worth taking that one more week. We've seen, like, with Drury and Horn Francis and some other guys with their second week after a promising first week, the second one really sputtered it up. So it's worth being patient sometimes. Baggers, I think I may have scared Spills. I put a ripper comment and, well, it went down like a heifer on. Oh, Jesus, bro. Mate, Briggs will keep form. He is the oracle. I've given him my title, the handing over of the reins. All hail King Simba. Mate, what was your comment to Spills? Because I reckon it'd take a bit to shake the lad. What'd you do to him? Xavier, hey, Shorty, need some advice. I've done Josh Dacos to Frio's Brayshaw this week, but I have 8 trades left. Some advice. Well, I don't mind that trade, mate. Let me know. Let me know how many upgrades you need, because 8 trades, I'd be hoping you only need 1 or 2 upgrades to go. And if so, you're traveling nicely. Jack says, hey, Shorty, how's your week been? Pretty good, mate. Yeah, pretty solid. Haven't done too much outrageous. Monday night, chill. Tuesday night was pretty chill. Tonight, obviously, smashing some questions for a while. Then pretty keen to watch the cricket tonight. Watch a bit of the cricket and then Thursday night footy back, mate. So, yeah, thanks for asking, man. Hope you are travelling well. Jason says, thoughts on Yo for Zeeble. I'm not as in love with Yo. I'd prefer Ben Keys. Again, I need to do a bit more looking into these guys. Don't know. They just make me a bit nervous. Like, at this stage of the year, most of us have like 8 to 12 trades. If you're bringing a bloke like Yo, who could get injured at any time, he could be a great pick. I was keen on him at the start of the year, but at this stage of the year, we just don't have as much room for error for blokes that just butcher it. And when it's foreseeable, like Yo with his body, makes me a smidgen nervous. But Sammy Boy says, go donate the gold coins to your local Woolies. I might have to, mate. Or Coles, mate. Bit of a Coles guy as well. Damien says, good to see the wardrobe is closed over your left shoulder. Last time I tuned in, I couldn't help but see a little doll up there on the shelf. Freaked me out. Yeah, I think there's like a little hedgehog doll. It's pretty random. Angeline, love the story, mate. We get around that. Damien says, "Oh, doll's back after you get your money out." Yeah. Steve, Shorty, what's going on? Are you dropping Zeeble like the rest of the comp, or think he can still put out some decent scores while Hall is in defence? No, I think he's a trade, mate. I just think it's too risky to hold him. I'd hate to look. I'm not writing him off. Like, he could bounce back, no doubt, but you'd look like an idiot, I think, if you made the call to keep him and it really failed. You'd have to have a lot of confidence, and he hasn't given us a lot of confidence. It'd take Aaron Hall being dropped or injured or something for me to keep him. Bagger says, Shorty, question. Use notes for the old pole dancer or piff your gold coins? Oh, mate. You think I got a strip club, mate? Jeez, that's quite the assumption, my man. D-Mac, best mid under 560 coming off the bye. Thinking Chad, thoughts? Under 560 coming off the bye, hey? Let me have a look. There's Warner. I mean, there's not much. I mean, I would have said Jack Steele, but his last week prior to the bye was not good. Yeah, honestly, yeah, it is Chad Warner. Particularly like when we're talking about coming off the bye, it sort of limits it a bit too. So no, can't argue with that, mate. Amusements here. Look out. I love badminton. This footy thing is just not for me anymore, I feel. Do cardboard boxes make you happy? Oh, mate. It never ceases to amaze me. And he continues. On a scale from 1 to 10, what is your favourite colour of the alphabet? You're a madman, my friend. But we love it. We love it here. Kent says, mate, I'm thinking Ward to Ryan. Your thoughts? Far out. What are we talking there? Are we talking Josh Ward? Are we talking Callan? Ward Law? I don't even know. And which Ryan are we talking? Luke? Wouldn't be Samson, would it? Yeah, look, maybe a bit more clarification on the names, but if you are talking about Luke Ryan, I very much think he's a solid option. Not quite to the heights that he was at the start of the year, but I do like him. Bezo says, damn it, Shorty, last week head-to-head with Origin. Yeah, this week head-to-head with the test match. I know. Love this stream, but geez, you're making it hard at the moment. I know, mate. Trust me. I was driving home tonight and I was like, fuck, I've gone up against the cricket, mate. I want to be watching the cricket too. And trust me, I will be. But yeah, one of those sort of unavoidable things. We're 1 for 17. Hopefully a clean run at it next week. Hey, I certainly don't want to be missing too much cricket. So, no, hopefully we're going all right. Jesus, Shorty's yawning. Fucking hell. Hopefully we're putting on a bit of a partnership by the time I'm watching amusement. I'm so blue, I'm greener than purple. I keep reading them out, but he's making less and less sense the more I go on. Frank Spiteri, hey Shorty, your thoughts on Zeeble, Sheasel, Baker, out for Neil, Sarong and Keys? Yeah, don't mind that. Again, I'm sort of just assessing my thoughts on Keys. I'd love to get a bit more clarity about why the move, the permanency of the move into the midfield. But hey, if it's permanent, shit, we got ourselves something to think about. Angeline says Callum Mills is going to be so cheap when he comes back. Yes, that is very true. And bloody wish he had some defensive dual position as well, because I thought he would have. I don't know if he didn't have enough of that percentage, but I thought he mainly played down back for the last 4 or 5 games. But anyway, super cheap. He could be a permanent M8 for many of us. Don't think he's back soon. I think it's still a couple of weeks, but it'll be very handy when he does. Baggers, hi Shorty, how you feeling? Or are you feeling naughty? He says. Zeeble is in a submarine, a big sinking turd. He can get stuffed. So him to Ridley, then Chincotta, the Pancotta, and Angwin out to Decam and marriage. Don't mind the Darcy Cameron one, mate. I'm not a massive fan of Ridley, but I know a lot of people are. I just don't like his ceiling over the long term. I think he's just sort of a mid-90s guy, which you might be leaking 10 points per game to your mate, potentially, if they've got a Sinclair or something like that. But, yeah, definitely in the Darcy Cameron boat. Amusement, how was the first goal kicking comp, Chief? This man, he just lives in the past, mate. How about you get down to a goal kicking comp, mate? And I'll put you to the absolute sword, my friend. So I want to see you taking that plane down to Victoria one day, mate. Ben, thoughts on Baker and Zeeble to Ridley and Brayshaw? Really love the Brayshaw one. I understand the thought behind Ridley. I don't quite see him keeping it up. I get the sense at some stage he'll just pump out a lot of frustrating 80s and 90s. But he is a good player. He is consistent. He's at a good price, so I get that. Baggers continues. Bring Marto in. He's a jelly fruit. You get the sweets and the fruits. What a player, Nicky Martin. What a star. He's playing well, Nick Martin. Not too interested in him in Supercoach, but he's playing well. Amusement says he took the words right out of my mouth. And Amusement and Baggers, just two of the absolute loose units in the channel, having a good old chat there. GRB, g'day Shorty and all. Greenwood trade was looking great. Oh, I saw your comment, yeah. But finished badly. He's going to kneel this week for me, but need a downgrade. Might have to go Mullen, not happy. That's brutal, mate. I wasn't watching it super close, but obviously he was playing well and went off at half time or something, you were saying? So that hurts. Neil, a great option though. So the only thing I'd say with Mullen is job security not great. Cats have the bye. He's every chance to be dropped for a few players coming back. That's all I would say. What have we got here? Travis is on deck. Time for Zeebs to go. Bring in Stewart. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that, mate. Definitely need Stewart in our sides. It's a great option. Western Port says, honestly, I'm a big fan of Tim Kelly with 3% ownership. Average 102 at 530K. You'd be a bold one bringing him in. I don't know. I'm just not convinced. Sometimes when he really gets up and running, he cops a tag and dishes up a 40. I don't know. I just don't trust him compared to some of the other midfielders, but certainly a pod. Sammy boy, I'm stuck shorty. Do I go Brayshaw this week and then Stewart next week? Oh, absolutely, mate. It just makes sense. I mean, Brayshaw just had the bye. Stewart having his bye. Lock and load that for sure. Bagger says Lloyd is a VC this week. Plays Saints. Whoever traded him in, you, my friend, are a Domino Pizza. It's good stuff, but not the top. That's actually a good point. He is a bit of a Domino's Pizza. Like, you can definitely be happy with it. More often than not, you'll be like, that was all right. But not often are you going to be like, oh, yeah, that was just top tier. Travis outlining that Kelly has a bye in round 15, worth noting. Steve, Shorty, you were talking the talk about Harry Himmelberg at the start of the year. Are you going to walk the walk and pick him up? Talk the talk would be a strong one, Steve. I was definitely keen on him if he was playing defence. And if there was any doubt that he might not play defence, I was not on him. And obviously we saw him playing forward. Now he's down back. So, no, I won't be going with him because it's 1 week. To have the confidence for me to pick him, it would have had to be like, yeah, we like Harry down back. He's our defender. He's our rebounder. So he might have a great month. Great stuff, Harry. But there's every chance he's forward for certain parts of certain games, depending on the stage of the game. There's every chance he just moves forward in 3 weeks. So I don't trust it. So no, I shall not be walking the walk, Steve. Max, Keys or Will Phillips? LDU, Simpkin, Greenwood out. He will be North's number 1 option. Thoughts? Yeah, that's an interesting point. I trust Ben Keys more. So if all things are equal and Keys is playing midfield, we know Will Phillips is playing midfield. I just trust Keysy a bit more. Will Phillips, I know in theory he's in there number 1, but I mean Davies Uniacke has to be close. I think is Simpkin a definite out? I don't know, but both will make us good money. I really liked Will Phillips' game on the weekend, so I understand where you're coming from there. Travis Lyons fixture much better on the run home. Neil is a must get. Yeah, interesting, yeah. See, I haven't felt it's been a fixture issue that he's been struggling. I just think he's had a couple of games where he's had a bit more attention. I think Brisbane's system as well, the way they're a bit more of a go-forward team, a little less possession-based, maybe a little bit of Dunkley getting a bit more of a piece of the pie. But, yeah, look, I'm not going to argue with you. I think I'm bringing Lockie Neal in too. Bagger says he will find it. I think that's in regards to the comment about Spills. Cameron, Shorty, thoughts on Fife? He says also, I'm going Yo as the drop-off from the big 4 defenders. Sicily, Stewart, Dawson and Dacos is massive. And I think Yo has massive upside. Yes, injury concern, however, got to risk it for the biscuit. And nice, mate. Look, I'd prefer Yo to Fife. The thing is, both are very injury prone, but we saw it from Yo. He gave us a 120. Fife, we haven't even seen it. And yes, he's improving. Yes, he's getting more game time, more midfield time. But I'm happy to play until we see it. So I get what you mean. There is a big drop-off from the top 4. I would nearly throw Sinclair into that mix. I know he's been up and down, but I think it's a big 5. But you're right, trying to find that 6th one. You got to be brave, mate. You got to be brave, and you are being brave with those calls. Holty says VC and C this week. I've got the fixture up, so let's have a look. I feel like Tim English in some great form after last week. Showed what he can do against a lower end ruck, and Port don't have any rucks, so Could be an option. Bontempelli, always an option. Lockie Neal could get attention against the Hawks. Not sure. What else we got? Rory Laird or Dawson against the Eagles. Something to think about. Just having a bit of a look through. Because they're all the sort of obvious ones. I'd probably build it around something like that or some of our gun mids, you know what I mean? Yeah, there are a few. That's probably where I'm leading. Definitely like Tim English on that. I think it's a Friday night. Amusement says, I saw Lack Liebel at the cafe yesterday. Yeah, this will be good. I asked him, why are you so bad at football? He replies, I don't like humans that have me in their Supercoach team, especially baggers. I didn't think that was going to be a personal attack on baggers, and that just took a turn. Steve says, I was targeting Stewart after the bye, but he broke break even twice, so now looking at Ryan in defence. Think he will bounce back. Has something changed in Freo's defence? Look, I'd definitely make Stewart a priority, mate. I know he's a bit, he's broken that break even, but I think you need him. I don't think anything's changed in their defence. I think their style of footy has changed. So, start of the year, they were very kick mark, place, defend with ball in hand, particularly that when he scored 170, they would chip, be patient, build it up from the back. Where now, which modern footy is, you got to be a go forward team, meters gained, handball forward, play a bit of chaos footy. So Freo have sort of moved to that. And I think while Ryan's still having solid scores, I think that extra 2 to 5 kick marks per game, bit of cheap footy, can be the difference from 10 to 30 points sometimes, which he probably isn't getting at the moment. Travis says, is Oliver back this week, Shorty? He was going to be, but I'm hearing a bit of news that he's some sort of infection with a blister or something. I heard it on the radio this morning, but apparently in doubt. So if we just look now, Clayton Oliver, Melbourne Gun admitted to hospital ahead of Pies clash. So that's far from ideal. Battles blister issue. Pretty random stuff. So, yeah, I'd say unlikely at this point. I love Tipper says Zeeble to Stewart only for better buy structure, and I don't have the cash next week if Zeeble loses. Fair call. And Zeeble's definitely going to lose a lot of coin. It's just a matter of how much. So if you can bring Tommy Stewart in, it's a good call. Baggers. Mate, he's a submarine. Seen him down Geelong today. Hope the Russians get him. Jesus Christ. We're getting a little saucy there. Carl, Short, and the Barbarian. What's going on, Carl? How are we? Oh, Joe's in the house. Joe says, what should I hit at the gym, Daddy? Today, Daddy. Wednesday, I'm vibing a bit of shoulders, mate. Just get a bit of shoulders. Get that upper body pumping. What did I do? Yesterday I worked a bit of just for the shoulders and the biceps, mate. I'm no gym junkie. I just do whatever the hell I want. I'm not sort of like a buys and tries guys and chest and back because they're over here and this is over here. Like I just do whatever. But get in that gym and smash it out, Joe. Steve, I was planning to make Will Day my loophole in defence after getting one more primo back there. Could loophole Zeeble and Day and save a trade. Otherwise, we'll be left with one trade for finals. Yeah, okay. So you're getting a bit low on the trades. Understandable. I think, whatever is going to alleviate that trade pressure is probably the way to go, mate. Because we'll definitely need the odd emergency trade, that's for sure. Baggers think he don't like the lingo. Was that about spills, maybe? Sammy Boy, thoughts on having Ashcroft M8? No, not for me. I think M8 needs to be a consistent 95 plus. Ashcroft, you could do worse, but I think he's a guy that can still score 60s and 70s, particularly a first-year player. As the year goes on, he's going to get tired. He could get rested. So, no, there's no reason we can't pick up Sam Walsh or Paddy Cripps as an M8. Like, that should be doable. Carl, hope the People's Champ is travelling well and the supplies of Guava Cruiser are plentiful and at the appropriate temperature. What are your thoughts on Fife and Ben Keys? Does Keys really maintain the shift? Rowell and Bonta clear mid-tag targets. Not sure the other teams have those types. Yeah, that's a fair call, and mate, appreciate the first comment, my friend. I am going well. Certainly knocked back a few guava cruises on Saturday night. It was good fun. And a very good point you raise. I'm just going to waddle over to fan footy and just take a look at what they say next to Ben Keys about his role in midfield. That's very descriptive. Mostly chased his own footy, but butchered it. So it doesn't mention his tagging. What's it say next to Rao? Nothing about him there. Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, look, if someone watched the game closer than I was thinking Cruises at that point in time watching the Cats game, but was he tagging? Has he tagged the last 2 weeks? So, but I'm right there with you, mate. If we get some assurity about the role, lock him in. But at the moment, I've just got to find out. The Shelley Bean, Shorty is able a must trade. I could trade him to someone like Walsh and continue my trade plans over the next couple of weeks, but only left with around 1 or 2 injury trades. Yikes. I think he is a must trade, mate. I just think he's going to bleed cash. I don't have enough confidence in him bouncing back. It's possible, but I hate to back him in on low confidence and see him just lose 80K over the next 2 weeks. So I'm trading. I get you running a bit tight, but I think 1 or 2, maybe just roll the dice. Hopefully 2, and you hope for a little bit of luck. But yeah, we definitely need 2 to 4 injury trades, I reckon, from probably coming out of the buys. Damien says, Tom De Conning, do you want him down at Geelong and do you believe he will be there next year? What are you willing to give up for him? Look, I'd love him. I must admit, he's probably a little overhyped, to be honest. Great talent, potential this, potential that. But do you ever remember him destroying a game for 4 quarters? I get he's young. But no, I would like him. I could one day see the Cats having Toby Conway as like your Sean Darcy type of ruck and De Conning is like your Luke Jackson ruck and forward. It's always hard to say what you have to give up. I mean, I presume we'd have to give a first rounder for him. And I would give a first rounder for him. Certainly not a top tenner. But yeah, it'd probably be a pick in the teens and a shuffling of picks later down the order. But I wouldn't sell the farm for him, but he's got a lot of upside. Little cricket update. 1 for 22. Warner 13 off 25. Labuschagne 8 off 19. So it's all right. Joe says, I love your amusement. He's about to answer our question. Hopefully I answered it for you nicely, mate. Bag is serious question short. Shit, here we go. I got 2 upgrades left. Getting Stewart for Ashcroft, then potentially Oliver for Wardlaw. And Ford leaving me 2 trades left. Is that squeaky burn to one? So what do we got? Stewart for Ashcroft, potentially Oliver for Wardlaw, and Ford. What's Georgie Wardlaw? I think he's about 230. It looked like he would have gone 90 plus last week, young Georgie, the way he was playing. He scored 65. Wow. Fuck. I guess that shows when you only watch snippets and you only I mean, he looked like he scored better than that, but I probably wouldn't rush out to get Wardlaw, mate, at 230. Ford's got money to make. I mean, they both have money to bank, but I like getting Stewart in. I just wonder, is there any way you could reshuffle it for whether it's a Keys or a Darcy Cameron? I know there's a bit more money around that, but yeah, don't mind it, but probably feel like Wardlaw's a little too expensive. I prefer Ford at the price. Mitch says, hey, Shorty, here we go. A Crom fan. This is what we're about. I reckon CBAs are up for his tagging role at the moment. This is what we like to see. Keesey will be averaging from 60 to 95, depending on who they're playing. Now, that makes me nervous, and that is exactly what we asked for from Mitch. Thank you, mate. I called for Crows fans. You've delivered, mate, so thank you. Honestly, that's enough to turn me off it, because if it's a tagging role and the role ain't there, then I'm happy to steer clear of that. So thank you, mate. No one knows their team like the supporters. Theo says, Sinclair, Neal, and Marriage in, out, Zeeble, Day, Mitchell, thoughts. Yeah, don't mind that at all. there are a couple of guys that I'm looking to bring in too. Ryan Marich, 102 forward. I hadn't seen what position he was up at. Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with that. I like those premiums. One's in my team. I'll probably bring the other one in this week. Carl, Fifey, are we getting ourselves for a hammy heartbreak? Are we setting ourselves? Fool me once, shame on Fife. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 82 times, might need to look in the mirror and rub style 360. Yeah, rub style 360 feedback sesh. Mate, I love that. That's some of the funniest stuff on there. To be honest, yeah, I wouldn't be going Fife just yet. If he shows us, mate, absolutely. If he comes out and scores 100, yeah, mate, we'll buy in. I'm happy to miss on some of his cash. If I've got to get him at 260, but I've got confidence he's back, I'm happy. But I want to see it first. And yeah, those 360 feedbacks, mate. The way they used to go at Frawley and Damo. I remember JB just getting stuck in a Damo about you got to drop your nerd mates. You're hanging with the cool kids now. Oh, it's funny shit. Steve, how many games has Hall averaged in a year? Chancey goes down and Zeeble back to top 5 forward defenders. Well, I can bring you up, Aaron. I mean, that's the thing. Like, the thing is, mate, like, Clarko clearly didn't rate Hall. Didn't want him in the team. Ratton seems to. The last few years, Hall's gone. So he's played the 5 this year, 11, 20, and 15. So 2 out of 3 years, he's actually played a bit of footy because 2020 was a shorter year. Look, we got to play with what's real. He may or may not get injured, Aaron Hall. But what we know is that it's having a bit of an effect on Zeeble. So I think we got to play with. We can't sort of keep Zeeble in the hope that Hall just pops a hammy. It's likely, but it could happen in 4 weeks, 8 weeks, next week. So I think we just got to trade Zeeble because the facts are there for us. Where are we? Amusement says, I was born at a very young age. Carl, how long to wait to call a lass you've gotten to know these days, Shorty? What's industry standard? So we're talking actual phone call, mate. Look, industry standard has lengthened previously because people are a bit scared of the phone call, mate. A bit more common on the FaceTime. I know it's the same sort of thing, mate, but Shorty grew up with just, pick up the phone, mate. How you going? Now it's one of these ones. Look, FaceTime. Honestly, you'd have to give it the 3 or 4 weeks, wouldn't you? If you're talking a lot and it naturally moves that way. But I must admit, it's not one of Shorty's go-tos, and maybe it needs to be. Maybe I need to get on the phone call because what I do try to do is try and get the catch-up earlier, try to get a date going because I hate just texting back and forth. It's hard enough to think of things to talk about with anyone, let alone someone you barely know. So Shorty tries to get the catch-up going early, but it's been a while since he's had a date. Wouldn't mind a bit of a little coffee date. So if you've got a lovely lady for Shorty to find him some love, just please let me know. D-Mac, not sure what gummies amusement is on. I want some. He's cracking gags now. Speaking of which, what do you call a toothless bear? A gummy bear. He's pretty happy with his work. Baz Lenker says Oz or India. I genuinely think Australia will win. I think we play those conditions better. I certainly hope so. And they've got a few out too. I know we've got maybe Hazelwood out. Come on, India, says amusement. That's disgraceful, mate. I won't stand for that, mate. That's inappropriate sort of comment. Sammy boy, Lockie Neal should get some attention for Connor Nash. I reckon not a captain option. Yeah, fair call, mate. I hadn't seen that they were playing Hawthorn, but that is a good point. I always hate bringing players in when they're potentially copping a tag immediately. Like, I think it makes sense to bring him in. If you're going to get tagged immediately, I'll just see how the week unfolds there for me. Oh, boy. Joe says, my PE teacher very much had teeth, I assure you. Baggers, I question the intelligence of and intellect of Geelong residents. who own a pool, shorty. Oh, here we go. Driving home today from the mighty Gordon, my eyes were stunned. People in the pool with an umbrella. That is criminal offence, short hog. Surely not. They weren't in the pool, were they, mate? You're taking the piss there, surely. Yeah, I was driving home from work too, mate. Just pouring rain. Pouring rain. Angeline says, I think Caleb Sarong is a VC. Shout out, don't have Tim English. Yeah, fair call. I mean, Sarong, definitely a real solid option. I mean, he's such a consistent fella. The only thing I would say about Sarong with the VC is he did pump out a couple of 140s and a 130. Yeah, fair enough. No, that's a fair call. Got to try and work Tim English in that side. He's going well. Josh says, thoughts on Ridley. Just doesn't have the absolute ceiling for mine. For the price, he's good, mate. Like, he is good, but I've just never been in love with him as an option. I had him once. He just pumped out too many 80s and 90s and just couldn't quite get those big ones. But for that price, he's really solid. Weston says, Rowan Marshall is a VC for me. Reckon 140 against Sydney. Actually, yeah, that's a good call. That's a good option. Because who's Sydney's ruck at the moment? Like, they don't have too much going on in there at the moment, do they? Xavier, sorry, a bit late to get back, but I still need 4 upgrades. Oh, yeah, you had 8 trades, was it? So might have hit a wrong note, but lucky you have 185k in the bank. Yeah, well, in that case, you're probably going to have to try and be a bit savvy with your shopping, mate. You might have to back into Paddy Cripps. You might have to wait for Callum Mills to come back. You might have to lock on to Darcy Cameron, or you might have to hope that Adam Sard can bounce back or something like that. Shop in the discount bin for guys that still could be good, but you can still get a complete side. You just might need a bit of luck to help you out. GRB, yes, Oliver infected blister. What the fuck? Hopes to train Friday, but dodgy with Monday game. He won't know until the day or until late. And I'd hate that he gets named and he just gets through and scores like 94. You know what I mean? Like when they play and they're not quite right. Yes, we'll have to wait and see on that one. Amusement. Sometimes your left ear makes me very, very angry. Oh, sometimes, mate, I've got no idea what this man's talking about. Baggers. It was raining in Geelong. Pools are filled from rain. What the fuck? John, I'm in a rough spot with 3 upgrades, but only 7 trades. Any advice? Yeah, similar to what I just mentioned, that fella. You might have to just shop a bit cheap, wait for a Mills to come back, or you might have to back in an Elliot Yeo or, back in a Paddy Cripps and hope you can turn it around, because you probably can't get top echelon without using almost all your trades. So that might be the only way to go about it. Sammy Boy, thinking right now I could actually go Tommy Mitchell, who's been pretty consistent, 100 to 105 range, who's 50k less for Brayshaw for M6, M7, can help with cash for next few weeks. Well, as always, if it really helps you cash, and cash is tight, then fair enough. Tom Mitchell, of course, is not, if he's your M6 and someone else's M6 is Tom Green, you could be leaking 5 to 10 points each week, which doesn't sound much, but if you do that on a few players and you're leaking 30, 40 points, and we know how much a point can equal a rank. So it's just food for thought, mate, but he is a consistent guy. Amusement says, no need to panic or anything, like it's really not that deep, but my neighbours live next to me. I might have to start filtering some of Amusement's trash talk here. The Shelley Bean, Adam Kelly, head of football for Adelaide. Yeah, here we go. After Ben Keys, 94% mid-time last week, he said, we'll see a fair bit of Keys in the midfield again. 94% is probably too high, but he will spend more time in there. Nice. All right. Well, now I'm back and forth. But thank you for that. It's going to be a really tough decision. It'll probably come down to cash, but very interesting. Western Port says, I felt Wardlaw definitely scored harshly. Should have got 80. Yeah, 100%. That's what I was thinking too, mate. Matthew says, Shorty, Degoe better book his ticket to Bali ASAP. If I see him in the streets, he's about to cop the Barry Hall treatment. Oh, I feel like you might have been one of the guys that was trading out like, who was it? Someone to Goey. There was a few people sort of putting to Goey up there. Maybe it was for Cripps or something, I think. Oh, brutal, mate. Brutal. Matt McIver, Zeeble, Shees, Seamus Mitchell, to Neil Brayshaw Mullen. Only 7 trades left. Winning cash league by 2 games, 172 in shorties. IG League. Nice, mate. Nicely done. Yeah, look, good trade-ins, no doubt about it. I'll keep mentioning Mullen. Strong chance to be dropped next week. Cat's getting a few back. That's all I'd say, but it works nicely for your cash gen. I just worry that he might not be in the team for you when the Cats do come out of the bye. Brandon says Jay-Z, DeGoey, Sheasel to Oliver, Track, and Melican will leave me with 11 trades and 4 more upgrades. Nicely poised there, mate. And yeah, I like the trades. Melican could always be a guy that could wait a week, but definitely understand if you want to pull that trigger. And then the other 2 inclusions are guns, so nothing wrong with that. Lordy says, is Dane Rampy an option? Looked at him and am thinking about it, or wait a week and see. No, I don't even know if he's playing, mate. But no, he's not an option for mine. Brandon just hits me with the thoughts, Daddy. Well, hopefully you tuned in and heard the thoughts there, mate. Cameron, apologies, Sorty. I have attempted to stitch you up with the previous question. Forgot how serious this teacher gig is. I can't remember what your last question was. But yeah, I'm so intrigued now. Can't see. Oh, actually, do I see it? Oh, no, I can't even see it, mate. So you might even stitch me up and I didn't even realise it. But we're gonna have to find my spot again after that little Control F. Brandon, am going too hard with too many upgrades left. Am I going too hard? Well, where were you at? I think 11 and 4. Yeah, 11 with 4 upgrades. I mean, it's okay. Like, you should be able to trade and get a full team with 2-3 trades, maybe 4, depending how you go about getting bargain guys. So no, I think that's okay. You certainly wouldn't want too much misfortune, but no, you're going all right. Maverick is trading Gorn and playing Briggs at R2 legit. The man's a beast, but can he keep out Flynn? DCAM is my cover at F6 if it gets ugly. Definitely like Cameron being your coverage. Look, I probably wouldn't back in Briggs over the long term. But by the same token, I don't think Gorn is your guy. I think you probably need like an English or a Marshall, a Jared Witts. Just that share ruck role just isn't quite lending itself to big scores for Gorney. So Briggs, strong chance to keep it up. But I don't know. It's hard to trust him over the absolute long term. That's for sure. Oh, Lukey's here. What's going on, mate? Hey, Shorty. How are you? What did you think of DeGoey's bump, and what did you think of the Cats game last week? Yeah, for sure, mate. Look, DeGoey's bump, I think it was in the modern game, just something you run the risk on, and if you knock a bloke out, you're going for 3 or 4. So I think that was fair. And the Cats game, I was really pleased. There's not too many times I don't think the Cats can win, and I was finding it really hard to see how we got the win with our midfield versus their midfield. So it was a gutsy win, and I was pretty happy about it, mate. So hopefully it's one that we can just peg back when we shouldn't have, and maybe can recourse our season on the right track when we get a few back. Kevin, hey, Shorty, how are you? Lloyd or Keys? Keys in helps me with that upgrades. Yeah, I'm going well, mate. Hope you're traveling nicely. Look, I'm back and forth on Keys. I'm hearing, when he tags, he's in the midfield. I'm hearing he's playing more midfield with the role. And so I'm going to have to really look into it more. I lean towards Keys just because I'm not red hot on Lloyd. he's safer. He's a safer bet, Lloydie, but I think Keys could well help you out elsewhere, which you've mentioned. So that might be the go. Carl says, would you condone only kneeling this week and going straight from one of the Hawks rookies to Stewie next week and just holding back on Fife and letting that play out? Absolutely, I would, mate. That's how I would play it. Hold on Fife, wait and see what he delivers. If it's good, great. If it's not, bullet dodge. There's no need to rush. And certainly getting in Stewart soon would be a very good go after that bye. 1 for 29, the Aussies. Nice. Bazooka or Bazo. Going to try come up to Geelong for the D's game in a few weeks. Any tips on buying tickets or places to kick on after the game? That's what we like to hear. Any tips on buying tickets? I think probably just your online operation would probably be the go. I think try and get in early because there's not always a stack of visitors' seats. Places to kick on afterwards. If you want a bit of a feed beforehand, so go to Murphy's Pub, mate. Go to the upstairs little rooftop bar. Grab yourself a drink. Nice little southern fried chicken burger. Afterwards, mate, probably depends what your vibe is. Nice little cocktail at there's one called Sweet Cheeks. Is pretty nice, and Frankie is pretty nice. But if you're really kicking on, look. I went to Geelong Hotel on the weekend. It's not what I remembered. Not as good. So I'm hearing Two Chambers goes all right. And I think Lammy's is always a safe option. It's always a safe option for a good night. Bagger says, for everyone wanting to go Keys, Short now, he's no good. Would Ward or Hobbs be an option? Ward, big score this week, but with Kelly out, may stay mid, had 24 CBAs, and Hobbs a speculative pick, just assuming they need cash instead of a top liner. I don't really like either of those guys. Like you said, it's a bit speculative. I don't want to get too funky with these sort of mid-price guys, have a good week or two. And I don't know, I just feel like more often than not, they let you down. So, like you said, Kelly back, I'm happy to play away from that one. Cameron says, thoughts on Melican the Pelican? Happy to see his second week, but definitely would like to launch on him if he backs it up. Could be a nice option because we do need somewhere in a rookie vicinity a good option. Lockie says, what's your go after footy feed from the canteen, Shorty? Personally, I like the chip, cheese, and gravy. Can't go wrong. Go to after the footy feed. Yeah, fair call, man. If we're talking like your canteen sort of option, I mean, I'm a sucker for a jam donut, man. I mean, it's not exactly a feed, but sort of at the footy, that's what I will go. Some of your places at the footy do a solid burger. Some of them do. Some it's absolute trash. But I do agree the cheese and gravy option, chips and gravy option is a good call. When I was younger, I just used to slam, just get a classic hot dog. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, they're trash at the footy, but I'd always be like, yeah, Dad, I'll get a hot dog. He must be like, what's this bloke on about? There's way better options. But, yeah, I don't mind that. Chips with the old chicken salt, mate. I mean, you can't get that everywhere. But, love that. Baggers Cameron is promoted to kid status. That is a baby goat. Maverick, LDU post buy is making me towier than a Roman sandal. He finished last year like an absolute freight train in North, a competitive under Rats. Yeah, I mean, it'd take a bit of a trust turnaround, wouldn't it, mate? Because he has let us down. But again, a bit like Fifey, I'll believe it when I see a return to form. Happy to just wait on that. But he certainly has a lot of upside if he's fit and in form. Chase JZ to Neil with 8 trades left and 3 rookies left. Should I or not? No, I would, mate. Look, I'm in a similar position. I think I've got 9 and I need 3. I just think you don't want to leave yourself shortchanged. If Zeeble averages 85 for the rest of the year, we're in strife and he's going to bleed a lot of coins. So I'd pull the trigger on that one. Damien, so Shorty, you said you haven't been on a date in a while. So can we slide into your housemates' DMs? I believe you're playing it cool and not let the boys know what's going on behind the scenes. Michaela. With Michaela. Here we go. I think you're referring to Caitlin, my housemate, but no, just housemates being housemates, mate. But yeah, if you got any ideas for Shorty, feel free to set me up. But no, he's just a guy looking for love, mate. It's pretty chill at the moment, so times are tough in the Shorty household, so that's how it is, mate. Baggers, Carter, I seen your comment and I want in. You got a meat pie with sardines, fishy meat, mate. Oh shit, fuck, that's reckless stuff from Baggers. Lockie, both of those comments aren't wrong about. Here we go. Amusement's gone to the Capitals. What, short vlog? Just straight up ignored my comment. Now you and your left ear will get that Barry Hall treatment. Come on, mate. Bring it on. Your talk, son. Bring it down to Victoria, my man. Look, the comment just wasn't that funny, Amusement. I mean, you sent that many comments through. I mean, I just had to filter it after the year comment, Corey, with Wardlaw, Shorty, he gave away a 50 and 2 holding the balls, which meant his score went down by about 15 points in like 2 minutes. Fair enough. That's fair, mate. I didn't catch all of the game, so that is fair. Amusement, ignoring Jeff is one thing, but me. Oh, Amusement, mate. My deepest apologies, my friend. This has really hurt you, and I didn't realize how much pain I could have caused you, my man. I hope you win the quiz, all right? X-Devil, evening short stack, holding this week, so no trades to review. What's the best game you've seen live? Oh, thanks for dropping in, mate. Best game I've seen live. There's been some crackers against Hawthorn over the journey. I was at that final where Isaac Smith missed the goal after the siren. That was just so tense. I mean, clearly, like if we're talking best, like being at grand finals is the best that you can possibly do. But actual cracking games, any game where you just come back ridiculously. One of the best, I go to a few neutral games. One of the best was round 1 last year, Richmond and Carlton. That was just, it was like the first time we'd really got big ass crowds back, or at least that I've been to. And yeah, that was so good. Western Port, Zeeble and Sheasel to Keys and McRae. Definitely like the McRae. I'm still just back and forth on the Keys one. I just need a bit more conviction about the role, but I think he might be in for a bit more midfield time. I just want to get a bit more of a feel for it. Lockie, Shorty, mate, when's your next subscriber goal kicking thing? I wouldn't mind coming down and showing everyone up. They call me the next G train over here. Oh, I love that, mate. Look, a bit tough through the winter months. Doesn't lend itself to goal kicking very well. It most likely will be through finals or after the season. I always try to do like maybe a couple a year. So stay tuned, mate. You a bit of a local man, or you on the travel? Lordy says quiz ? Yeah, it is 8:45 actually. Yeah, pretty soon, mate. I will. Maybe answer a couple more and then I'll put through the code. Absolutely. Steve, how many trades do you have left and how many rookies on field to sell off before completing the team? I'm 9-3, mate. So 9-3 with 150k in the bank. So I sort of feel like I'm 10-3 because 150 is basically a trade. So I'm feeling okay. I was mapping it out and who I can bring in. I feel like I can have a complete team with 4 trades left, maybe 3. So I'm happy with that. Xavier's also calling for the quiz, so we love that. Won't be far away. Baggers, yep, sub kicking. They call me the golden shell. Oh shit, man. Josh, is DCAM a must-have if I already have McRae? So if I don't get DCAM, I can get a mid like Steele or Mills, but then have no ruck cover. Thoughts. Also says out of Cripps. I'll answer that in a sec. I kind of feel like he is a must, unless you've got some other plans to back up your rucks if shit hits the fan, because there might be a stage later in the year where you've got 1 trade, 2 trades, maybe no trades, and they rest Tim English for the finals or Rowan Marshall or whoever it is, and you're going to have to swing a bloke to just get some coverage. So that's I'm looking at it like I think he'll come in very, very handy. So I'm going to bring him in. And then he also says, out of Cripps, Walsh, Steele, Mills, and Dicey Cameron, who would you get in at their cheapest points? Probably Sam Walsh. I think he's still got 110 in him. Most confident on 110 out of all those guys. So yeah, Darcy Cameron's a bit of a different point.
Hey, I just got the shower running if you're ready.
Keep it running, mate. I'll be in a sec. Shit, that is raucous. Well played. Read into that what you will. That's just a reckless moment. I'm sure you're SuperCoach, and you'll have to say it. That rattled me. Just love it when just random girls walk into my room. Daggers. Oh no. What do you call a deaf person? This will be good. You don't. Oh shit, man. It's brutal. Jonas, hey short stick. Thoughts on King's birthday ruck duel? Bromax versus Coxcam. Don't mind the name, mate. It will be a very interesting battle. It should be a pretty good game, to be honest. Ex Devil Shorty, you can have my missus clean swap for a bag of chips. Oh, bro. You're a savage, man. You're a savage. Jonas Zeebel's break even is 172 this week. Bleeding like a stuck pig. Yeah, mate. You've been off him for a bit, mate. Luke McMahon. And by the way, how is Tizio? And if you could choose one person to go down the big freeze slice, who would it be? Tiz is good. I'll catch up with him on Friday and watch the footy. One person to go down the big freeze slide. Has Jared Waitley gone down it? I wouldn't mind seeing Jared do it. I love listening to his program. I feel like he would just look a bit uncomfortable with it, but I wouldn't mind seeing it happen. Amusement says, "No, stuff the quiz." I say, I'm hopping over to Supercoach George. Oh, mate, stick with us, mate. You're my number one supporter, bro. High's in here. He's normally off the top, but he's in now. Prob's already answered, but just got on. No rookies catch my eye. And I have Zeeble, Sheasel, but only 70K in the bank. I'm thinking just don't trade anyone. What do you think? Look, I'm trading Sheasel and Zeeble, mate. I just feel like they've done their job. It's time. With 70K in the bank, it's tricky. You could almost go Sheasel down to maybe a Keys, depending how much you trust that. And you could go Zeeble up to, that'd probably give you around 580, 590, and whatever floats your boat around there, you should be able to get a decent option. Jack McRae or something like that. I'm not sure on the exact prices, but yeah, that's some food for thought. Oh, what's the reaction? Yeah, the boys are absolutely going off with the intrusion there. Where did I get up to? He says, Corey says, were you at the game where Tom Hawkson kicked the winner after the siren? No, that was a Hawthorn home game. And for some reason, we just watched it at home. But yeah, I went absolutely off. That was a great moment. Damien says, Shorty needs a few donations for a new chair. The man's used a pillow. He had to sit. Yeah, it's a dodgy as pillow. Or it's a dodgy seat, man. It's not comfy at all. And answer us, this YouTube gig isn't paying enough. I know, mate. Look, if I sat on this crappy old chair for like 2 hours straight, my back would be cooked, man. So, Bagger says a paragraph because he's too short to be an essay. Jonas Lowell, anybody bringing in Natalie 5? She has more stuff than Dusty Martin after he ran into Mitch Robertson and got injured. Lockie says about an hour travel, so not bad, doable, nice, mate. Let's get this quiz going, shall we? I'll we'll probably end up starting about 9 o'clock. I'll just get the actual code rolling. Where are we? Go classic mode. Oh, Jesus. All right, you guys would well know the drill by now, but for anyone who is new, that is where you got to be. And the quiz code is 5561234. That's nice and easy. 5561234. Sweet. There you go. Amusement. Were you at the game where Harry Taylor missed after the siren from about 25 out? Yes, that's the only win we've had against Kittens since 1876. But shush, I was actually doing like a bit of work experience at Croc Media that night. Very, very random. But yeah, I actually had to very much keep my cool. Don't worry, no answer, says Lockie. Not sure what that's in reference to. Steve, any chance they will drop the stand rule after Buddy has retired? I think he was the only one having a problem with the man on the mark. No, mate. You gotta love the stand rule. It's not for everyone, but it is. It has opened up the game. I think it has opened up the game. Lucky boy, says Josh. Jason, shorty, I sent you that message where I bought in Jones, Wardlaw, Briggs, and Keys. Yes, Jace, you are ahead of the game, my friend. I said to you at the time, not so sure, and he did return it, backed it up. So you were onto that, mate. Well played. Basso's loving it. D-Mac, cheeky lad. Amusement, I'll be down in L-Town over Chrissy. Make it happen, champion, because someone is too scared of the consistent 22 degrees winters up north. Trust me, I think about those, mate. Honestly, I do not like our weather. I love the heat, man. I'm half tempted every time this time of year. GRB says, oh, yeah, baggers, one slip of the tongue and you're in deep shit. Luke, yeah, went down the slide in 2016. Oh, has Jared done it? Western Port, I'm so torn on Keys. Break it. Yeah, me too, mate. I just think we just got to get a bit of a surety maybe from a coach, which I know some people put the comments through. But look, worst case scenario, he will make money. Even if he does score 70s. Like he will make money over the next 2 weeks. But yeah, I'm going to have to get the old notepad out and think about it myself. Mitch says, who are your top 6 forwards this year? For me, McRae, Taranto, Rosie, Butters. Oh, geez. Canelio's still probably in there. I mean, he's averaging high 90s. And obviously Dunkley. So maybe those guys. But yeah, I was finding it very hard to think of a 6th forward and 6th defender. Jason, good evening, mate. Hope you're mildly under control. I messaged you the answer to the keys issue a minute ago. Oh, there you go, mate. I will get to that in a moment or after the stream, but I do look forward to that because you were the man to discover Benny Keys this year. Well played. If you want to do the quiz, code is right there. We'll start that in 4 or 5 minutes. Baggers, apparently my joke didn't go through correctly. Jeez. Makes me nervous when Baggers is telling jokes. Jonas says, food for thought, hey? Dinner for 2. Mate, if you got a double date lined up for me, I'll take it. JRB, Koshy down the slide to celebrate his retirement from Channel 7. Don't mind that. Damien, Shorty, what are you doing, mate? Jump in the shower. Oh, shit. That's not bad. That's not bad. Jam, what's worse? Clayton Oliver's blister for his owners or walking by yourself down Little Mallop Street? A little bit of local Geelong knowledge there, mate. Matthew's back. Oh, yeah, shortly. Forgot to tell you. I tried taking a shower in the dark like you recommended. It is bloody awesome, mate. I respect that. I haven't looked back, mate. It just hits different, man. I respect that a lot. Thank you for the feedback. Lockie Carter, got the rhino hide, you ladies, fellas. I'm coming in hot and dangerous. Jesus, look out. Lockie's pumping his tyres up. Lordy, we playing? How long till start? I normally give people about 5 or 10, mate. Give a bit of time. We've got 25 people in there. Look, we can get that up to 30, surely. And then we might start. Steve, I hate hearing them scream, stand like a training dog. It has changed the game so much, especially kicking for goal. Look, I must admit, for a shot on goal, I don't really love it. But I think just moving the ball from like D50 up the ground, like I think it is fair. Corey says you missed out on Gordon as a top 6 forward. Yep, that is evidence that I have blocked that man out of my life. Very, very good point. probably trying to just blank him out from my memory, but no, he is a top 6 forward. Basalenka, a shorty quiz while watching the cricket. Does life get any better? Yeah, what's the score now? What are we? 154. Nice. Give me some updates on the pitch, guys. What's it looking like? DMAC, I may never recover if I'm robbed from another quiz tonight. I know you've been so close, mate. Western Port, shower in the dark. Yeah, I'm telling you, mate, you got to try it. The senses just hit different, man. I'm telling you, after this stream, mate, get in the shower, turn the lights off. It's just an experience, bro. There's an experience. Just a real sensory paradise. Baggers, I'll give that shower a go. Might sit on my hand as well and have a double whammy. Fucking hell. Lordy says, thanks for the content. Love these streams. Oh, thank you, mate. Appreciate that. I love them too. They really set the tone for my previews, and it's awesome just having a chat with you guys each and every week. Similar or familiar faces, which is just great. Another chance at the joke for Bags. He reckons Lordy they reviewed a decision. Hopefully they went all right. Bazo Manus just survived LBW review. Nice. All right, that's good he survived it. Steve, who are the last players you are targeting? Butters, Oliver Walsh, and depending how luxury mode I can go, I might need a bit of an luxury upgrade down back, and I don't really know who that would be, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Lottie, we are okay. Not out umpire's decision. Umps call. Lovely. Kev, lovely. Thank you, mate. Final call for the quiz. There's the code. We've caught up for the questions. Doesn't happen every session, but we've done it today. Thanks, everyone who's joined in. It's been another ripper. It's had everything. Random people walking in my room. Not random. I know Selena very well. She's one of Caitlin's great mates, but it's not every day you get that on the stream. But you boys got around it. Lordy, we're looking good. Should win this. Will Oliver even play this week? Yeah, mate, probably not at this rate. Game on for the quiz, says Corey. Let's do it, shall we? Let's do it. We got 26 in there. I don't think we're getting any more, so let's rock and roll. All right, quiz time. Good luck, guys. 12 questions. Just pumped them out like a couple of hours ago. I actually didn't get a chance early in the morning, early in the week, but Port pumped the Hawks early, kicking what score in the first half last week? Yeah, I thought the Cats' all-time record score was in danger for a sec there, but there are your options. All the similar marks. So if you watch the game, I'm sure you locked it in, but it was 16-9, 105. 13 of yous, half of it, got it right. Here we got Lukey Mac, West Toast or Wet Toast, Chloe, Unstoppable, Lockie, doing nicely. Good stuff. Question 2. All these Bulldogs had 30-plus touches on the weekend. Which player had the most disposals against the Cats? Caleb Daniel, Adam Treloar, Bailey Dale, or Tom Liberatore? Like I said, did this quiz pretty quick, so I'm hoping for no typos, but sometimes Shorty's a little pressed for time. Had to hit the gym and do the quiz after work, so it was a quick turnaround, but I think Caleb Daniel had 35, the others had low 30s, and most of you is getting that right. Nicely done. He's certainly in bloody good form, isn't he? So Causa, shower time, Hot Puss Michaela, who I still have my thoughts on who that could be, and Wet Toast, who should be on top, and he is. Shower time, Mitchy T, Michaela, and Unstoppable in 5th. Question 3. Buddy Franklin needs 1 goal this weekend to overtake who on the all-time leading goal-kicking list? So this could be easy. It could be tough, depending how many shows you watch, depending how much of a historian you are. Jack Titus, Gordon Coventry, Jason Dunstall, Doug Wade. It was Dougie Boy, 1057. Ah, yes, you guys are tuned in nicely. Most of you is getting that right. Well played. Who was in quickest? Causa, Wet Toast, Josh Martin, Causa, Lukey Mack. So some familiar names there. Luke will be up there. Wet Toast will be up there. He's number 1. Hoppus Michaela, Lukey Mack, Shower Time, and Joshy Martin ran at the top 5. So if you're doing quite nicely in a row there. Question 4, what number did Lance Franklin debut in for the Hawks? I reckon I might have had this question before, but I thought, look, Buddy's milestone game. You all would have seen that highlight where he runs in, left forward pocket, slots it as a young, agile, skinny looking Lance Franklin. I mean, I think you'll all get this right. He wore number 38. Interesting. 23. So a few people did get that wrong, man. I thought I'd throw the 23 in there just to see what happens. D-Max in there, Baslenka, Causa on top, who might rise to number 1 with Wet Toast. No, Lukey Mack, Josh Martin, Mitch T rounds out the top 5. Need a bit of a... Oh, no, what do we got coming up? Which player did Marlion Pickett hit with his left boot to set up the second last goal of the game against GWS? So this was, he obviously kicked the winner on his left, but he burst out of half-forward flank, gathered, turned on his left. You would have seen the highlights. Beautiful finish, straight on the chest of Dion Prestia, who slotted the goal. Interesting. That really sorted you guys out. There you go. This should be interesting. How's the leaderboard looking now? Stinky. Oh, Jesus. Causa, Luke Mack, D-Mac, shower time. So Luke Mack or Causa could be on top. Causa is, they're dead level. Wet Toast, shower time, and D-Mac. So hitting the halfway mark of the quiz now. Question 6. Of these young, tall forwards, who has kicked the most goals for their career? Jamari Ugle-Hagan, Mitch Lewis, Todd Marshall, Darcy Fogarty. I can tell you Mitch Lewis has kicked 100 on the dot. Ugle-Hagan's, he's young. He's nowhere near it. Darcy Fogarty, 102. It was Todd Marshall, 118. And again, that is really going to separate a few. It's what we like to see. This should be interesting. Hot Puss Michaela gets in very quickly. That's wild pace. D-Mac bags the Unihorn, Causa, and there's Lordy, who's pumping it up. He's in 11th, but he needs a lift, the young lad. I think Causa was still on top there. Question 7. Which unlikely Bomber kicked the match-winning goal against North Melbourne on Sunday? Did you catch the game, or were you having family dinner like I was? I caught the last quarter. I was out playing golf for some of it. But Kyle Langford, Nick Martin, Massimo D'Ambrosio, or Jai Menzie just belted that left boot, and D'Ambrosio, or D'Ambrosio, however you say it, he was the one. And most of you is getting back on track there. Nicely done. 20 got it right out of the 25. Good stuff. Blonde shower, but Causa, Wet Toast, Bazzo, and D-Max. So Causa probably on top here. He is. D-Max second. Bags, Lukey Mack, and shower time. And doesn't this get interesting? Because D-Mac again is pushing for this top 2. And a bit of a who am I question. I played for 2 clubs. I never won a premiership throughout my 275 games. And I won the AFL Rising Star Award. I will tell you 3 of these guys did win the Rising Star. So you're sort of more thinking about who played for 2 clubs. I think Palmer played for 3. So it's actually a pretty tricky question. It is Brett Deledio. So most of you got that right. Nicely done. Probably the 275 games is probably the way to go. Stinky Box is on top. Guava Cruiser, Wet Toast, Causa, D-Mac. Could D-Mac be on top? Not quite. He's still in second. Causa, Wet Toast, shower time, and Bags the Unihorn. So question 9. Who did Hawthorn beat in 2015 preliminary final on its way to the flag? West Coast, Fremantle, Adelaide, or Geelong? I'm going to say this is a tough question because they won a lot of flags. So it's about lining up which prelim is which. So this will test your knowledge. I'm expecting a bit of a split here. And a split it was. Fremantle, the most popular one, which was right, but there were a few that had, West Coast, Adelaide, and Geelong. So how'd Causa go? Michaela in very quick there. Lukey Mack, Wet Toast could be on top. Causa, D-Mac could be on top. Did D-Mac get it right? Or did Causa get it right? He didn't, so it's close now. D-Mac only 5 points off in that haunting second position for the young lad. Question 10, which 2 teams had the bye this week? So surely an easy one here. This might just be a speed question for you. Can't remember the last 2 questions, but I think one of them was tricky. I always like to put a bit of a tougher one towards the end just because it's close. You don't want like a super easy one. Causa and D-Mac duking it out. Everyone getting that right. So it's all about the speed here. Could be the difference. Causa, Baslinka. There's Causa. He'll extend the lead. Wet toast. Shower time. So Causa's on top. 10 points clear of D-Mac, Wet toast. Lukey Mac bags the unicorn. So question 11, the second last. How many best and fairest did Matthew Pavlich win at Fremantle? 5, 6, 7, or 8? Been a while since the Pav pulled on the boots, but what's your memory? What's your memory like? I myself definitely ruled out 7 and 8, but it was 6. I wasn't sure if it was 5 or 6. Most years getting it right. So what do we got? How's that top board looking? Oh, Causa's in form. So is Wet Toast. Bazzo, Mitch, shower time. Did D-Mac even get it right? He did, but it's very, very close. It's Causa's if he gets it right, I reckon. Who was named last year's All-Australian captain? Paddy Cripps, Max Gawn, Took Miller, or Tom Hawkins? They need Causa to slip up. Wet Toast and D-Mac, they're really getting close here. I don't know if this is tough or not. I feel like most will go Max Gawn or Tom Hawkins. The answer was Tom Hawkins. So there you go. 8 and 10 going Hawkins and Gawn. So it's up for debate. I don't know who's going to win here. I feel like Causa got it right, but D-Mac third, Wet Toast second, and it's our man, Corey, on top. Man, that was close. 4 points for Wet Toast, who really did fight back nicely there. Have a look at the standings here. Real close there. Real consistent effort from shower time. We got 10 right, which is great stuff. D-Mac actually got 11 right, the most in the whole quiz. Good efforts from Lukey Mac and Bags, all got 10. So it was very tight. It just came down to the speed, really. Mitchy T, Josh Martin, Zaves was pretty solid. Like, he might have had a 9 out of 12. It was bloody good. Hot was Michaela, 6 and 6, was running hot for a while. And Unstoppable was as well. Chloe's in there, Guava Cruiser, Cozza, Lockie, Lordy. Yeah, nice. Good stuff. Good stuff, guys. So that was Corey, wasn't it? Corey, you're always Cozza, aren't you? Or Causa? Oh no, you came 7th. So who's Causa? Baggers hates the quiz. Oh, Carl calling D-Mac the bridesmaids. That's absolutely savage, mate. Jonas, wake up, Jeff. Your legendary son, Short Stick, is a total horn dog. The stories don't have any mayo on them. I'm going to just stop right there in case Jeffy Boy is watching. And Jonas, just calm your farm, son. You'll get me into all sorts of strife. Next week, Bag is going rapid fire. D-Mac Causa is now enemy number 1. Oh, Lockie, another week, another quiz I did not like. Keep hanging in there, mate. That's me. I won, but 7th in the last question for speed. Oh, righto. Look, mate, I think I understand you just had to nail it. It would have taken a bit of a Hail Mary to get it wrong and lose, or if to get it right slowly. I think you did have a solid lead, but good job. Basilenko had a mare in the quiz. Lordy says, how much you bench in the gym? Not much at the moment. I've sort of gone away from like absolute top end. When I was in the gym, I was probably, if I was doing like 1 rep, I'd probably knock out 110 in Shorty's prime. But probably not genetically blessed in the chest department, mate. A bit of a skinnier type of bloke by, as you see in the goal kicking vids. At the moment, I'm just sort of knocking out 80, 85, just getting some reps in, straight into your push-ups. You know what I mean? I'm honestly, the gym's more of just a mental outlet for me. Put the music on, put the tunes on. Jack had a shock anyway. Have a good weekend, Shorty. Thanks, mate. You too. Thanks for tuning in. Good stuff. Yeah, KGs. So that may disappoint you greatly, Lordy. You might be some sort of gym junkie, mate. But Carl would break your heart, especially because of the random speed. But to do it, I deserve a prize for consistent pay. Look, I do respect the consistency, and I know you have won ones before too, mate. Now I'm with you there, Carl. I think the speed of question it's too heavily weighted towards the speed, I reckon. But Jonas says, "Hey, Shorty, when are you next appearing with DR Spills and Janeth on the Touching Swords podcast? Third man up. Probably in the next week or two. But yeah, I'll see how I go. See you, Sean. Thanks, mate. Catch you later." Lukey says, hopefully I finish top sometime during the next few weeks. Absolutely. The thing with the quiz, right, as the streams go on in the year, less people have interest in SuperCoach, so it becomes a bit more chill. Best chance to win the quiz is always later in the year. Corey says, crazy to think I've won 2 quizzes in the last month. I know there was a time, Corey, when you were like, fuck, will I ever win one? And he's gone bang, bang. Western Port, I'll go try the shower in the dark, mate. You have to report back. You have to let me know how it goes, my man. Carl, sensational work. Shorty People's Champ delivers once more. Gentleman and a scholar. Thank you, Carl. You're a legend, mate. Mitch says, who's your most famous person in your contacts? In me contacts. Geez, well, once upon a time, I was a journalist in a former life. So I used to have, not on this phone, but I did have some football. Like I would have had Drew Petrie's name in there. Let's go through, see if there's anyone interesting. Not a lot of these don't because it's a new phone. But yeah, I had Jason Winderlick's number because I did an interview with him. I remember I called Gary Buccanara for an interview. Doug Hawkins called him. Yeah, there's not too many in here. Gerald Fitzgerald, I know it's probably a bit old for you guys, but fantastic VFL coach. Yeah, so they're name dropping a little bit there, but I used to Matt Short, who plays cricket in the BBL and knocking on the door of the test team. I used to catch up with him to do an interview and stuff like that. So yeah, back in the old journo days. Shorty, go and show that Selena chick the old towel on the pole move, just. Oh, you're a loose unit, mate. D-Mac, I might have that dark shower and just sit down with the feelings from the quiz. Hang in there, D-Mac. I'm guaranteeing you'll get a win by the time the year is out, mate. But definitely try the shower out, my man. Baggers, see you, Shorty. Go get Thos brunettes. And remember one dating rule. If it's got a bulge on the neck, don't give it a peck. See you, brother. Sound advice, my man. Catch you later, mate. Always a pleasure. It'll turn, D-Mac. Form temporary, class permanent. See, Carl's just a pump-up guy. We love that. D-Mac appreciates it. Thanks, Lockie. Never forget if thinks she's spunky coming. Oh, Lockie. What a way to sign off there, mate. And I might sign off on that note too, guys. Go have a shower. But anyway, look, I'll see you guys later. Thanks again. It's always a pleasure. It's always great to talk a bit of serious SuperCoach, but also take the piss and have a fair few laughs along the way, which is great. So, as always, I'll have my preview tomorrow night. Thursday night footy is back, so I'll try and get it out before the first bounce, but hopefully I've covered off on most of your questions. Time to do a bit of Ben Keys research, I think. But thanks, Bazzo. Cheers, Luke. All right, guys, have a good week. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll chat to you guys later. See you, Jonas. Catch you, mate. Bye, guys.